Hey guys, it is Friday here in West Virginia, so it's time for us to do our Free It Friday. And today it's going to kind of be like a Mopar Monday mixed with a Free It Friday because all the cars we're cracking open today are Mopars. That's all I have right now. Last weekend we had a variety of stuff. We had the mystery set from Hot Wheels, and I think we had the Advan box set. So we had a couple of cool things to unbox, something new and not common like the Mopars are on my channel. But Mopars are always cool to look at least in my opinion. Today we've got a few older pieces. The newest stain is from 2014. There's 3 from Greenlight and 1 from M2. So we're going to go ahead and start with the M2 since he's the only M2. That is this guy here. This is the 1970 Dodge Super B 446 pack. And this is from release 9, I believe. And these are when M2 still took pride like in their quality control and stuff. The cars didn't come off the line as bad as what they do nowadays because back then they were probably only producing like, I don't know, 3 to 5,000 of each model. So there weren't many of them coming off. So I guess the quality was a little better. But this came out in, as you could see, 2009 cast line. And this set of Detroit Muscle had a 70 Chevelle in yellow, a 70 Super B in orange, a 70 Mustang in black, a 69 Roadrunner in silver, and a 70 Torino in green, and a 71 Cuda in blue. So yeah, they have a lot of nice cars from their classic releases. So let's get this guy out and take a look at him. I only have, I think, 2 other Super Bs, 1970 Super Bs. So this will be the 3rd one being added to the collection. And I try to go for the older releases because they look a little bit more realistic with the wheel choices, the color combos, and things like that. Nowadays, most of their stuff has like, I don't know, some kind of sponsor on it, like Mountain Dew, or not Mountain Dew, but Mellow Yellow, Coca-Cola, or they do the Pro Touring, like Resto Mods with the Hellcat engines and the big SRT and Hellcats on the side of the car. Those are cool and all, but I'm just trying to go for the conservative looking stock muscle car. And this one here is perfect. It has the Magnum style 500 wheels. This would be probably like the vitamin C orange. It's a little bit lighter orange with a white top. And they even textured the top a little bit to make it look like a vinyl top with a black interior, which is cool. It offers a few colors here because a lot of times when they do the white top and white tail stripe, they do a white interior. So a lot of this contrast, but in a very good way. And these have the chrome tips, which look really cool. Metal on metal. And it does have the opening hood because this is the more premium end stuff. That's another thing that I've noticed is that even the Detroit Muscle stuff and some of their newer releases don't even have opening hoods. So they're cutting cost and quality all at the same time for themselves, but they're raising the prices on us. But I know inflation is inevitable, but sometimes, I mean, they need to at least keep the quality up and such things like that, and keep the options of the car there to justify the price. Honestly, though, I prefer them without opening doors and hoods because the body lines don't look so bad. But their earlier releases, once again, they took more pride in the quality, so the lines and stuff are much better. As you can see with this one, door gaps and everything was good. There's always been a little problem with them closing all the way. Like you can see that one's up very little, like a 32nd or a 64th of an inch. Not even anything to complain about. But And the hood's closed good. The gaps are nice all the way around. Just nice to have some of their older releases. Just you have to be careful sometimes, especially black ones, will get paint rash and paint issues. So be careful when buying older ones, especially the black ones. So that is the only M2 we have today. Now we'll go with the oldest Mopar we have, and it's probably the oldest release, I think. It's from 2008, and this is from the Muscle Car Garage Hobby Collection. These are only available, I guess, at hobby shops, and this is a nice one. This is like only the second or third convertible I have in my collection. I think it's my first Mopar convertible in my collection, I believe. I have another convertible that's Boss Hogg's Cadillac from the Dukes of Hazzard movie, the 76 Eldorado, but outside of that, I don't think I have any top-down convertibles. I have one I was just looking at here. It's a convertible Thunderbird, but the top is up. So, I don't know. I think this is maybe the first Mopar convertible I've got. So, anyways, this is a cool casting. I like this car from Greenlight, and I like the car in real life too. The 66, 67 style Coronets are nice. 67 was the first year for the RT package. That's a fun fact about Mopar. Now, in this hobby collection, you had the 65 Chevy Chevelle convertible, the Coronet convertible, a 67 Ford Mustang, and a 68 Chevy Impala, and a 70 Plymouth Roadrunner Hemi with a creeper shop tool. That was like a teal color. Yeah, exactly, teal. Okay, I see they say the color there. The 2008 Shelby GT500 with an air compressor. This is the one I really need to get because it has the engine hoist. I need an engine hoist. I do not have one in my shop tools. I have an engine actually right here that I would like to put on a little tiny chain that I made for the chain that I use for the petitions in front of my dealership parking lot, and put it on here and then hook it to the hook on the cherry picker. So anyways, let's go ahead and get this guy out of the package and take a look at him. And this car's in a cool, they're calling bronze. I guess, yeah, it looked copper to me, like a new shiny penny or something like that. Looks pretty good with the white interior. And they did a little bit of detailing on the console area. That's cool. The Magnum 500s look good. I just wish they would have used the skinnier ones. And then the grill detail on these cars, they just didn't get it. I don't know why. All it is a bunch of vertical lines. That's all they had to do. The RT badge is there, the headlights are there, and they even did the vertical lines on the tailpiece. But they did not do it to the grill. I don't get that. All of them that I've seen are like that. Hardtops, convertibles, each release of this car. I don't know about the newer one from the anniversary series that they released this year, I believe it was. It's like a teal aqua color kind of. Not sure if they fixed that problem, but I doubt that they did. Yeah, that's the only thing that's a downside for this casting is the lack of grill details. Just like a big flat piece of silver sheet metal or aluminum, something like that there. But everything else, the lines of the car, the size of the car, the rear of the car is beautiful. So very cool car to add to my collection. And I do have a hard top of that car. It's in dark green, I think. And now I have the convertible version of it. So now we'll do the other old release. Actually, this is the oldest release, Greenlight release. This is from 2007, the Auction Block series. But it's the newest Mopar we're going to look at today. It's an 06 Dodge Charger SRT 4-door hardtop. Back in the day, these would have been called a 4-door sedan because they had post. Hardtops, usually when they referred to a hardtop, there were no posts around the door windows. And this is from Auction Block Series 3. So we're getting way back there. This was one of the first releases and such of this car. And we just unboxed a 2-pack of the silver one last week or the week before. That was actually my first one of these in my newer Mopar collection. And now when I was collecting before, when I lived in the Philippines, I had a few of them. But now this is the second one I'm adding. I wouldn't mind having the green one. It's like a sublime green that was in the 2-pack with the 71 Orange Super B. And then I would like to have the yellow one from the hobby, not the hobby collection, but the Muscle Car Garage collection in the custom form, they call it. But it's actually just a stock Super B, unless that year they didn't make a Super B and somebody just made one, but it looks really good. This did have the same paint rash like on the roof here, like the silver one had, and a little here and there, and it looks like they both have it in the exact same spots, but on this one, because it's got the metal flake style paint, you can't really see it as much, which is a good thing. But yeah, there's a few more of these older Chargers. I don't know how to call these things, because this would probably be like a whole new generation of Chargers. So this would be like the first gen of the new Chargers, the 4-door Hemi Chargers that started back in the mid like 2000s, like 2006, 2007 is when they first came out with these. So I believe this would have been one of the first ones of 2006. So yeah, it would have been one of the first SRT Chargers out there. So yeah, these are cool. The Greenlight did a really nice job on this casting. I just wish they would have done mirrors on it, but besides that, it's a great casting. Their newer castings of the newer stuff is not so great. But the, say, 2010 and older variations look really good. Nice detail on the back, tail lights, the wing, the front grille area, everything, the hood, even the engine compartments look good. There we go. Yeah, the Hemi down in there. That's pretty cool. Nice job on this car. So, glad to have one of these in my collection. And that, well, they didn't mass produce these. Well, not really mass produce. It's got 5,596. So they must have made, like, I would say 9,999 of these or something like that. There's more than I expected. I would have assumed that there was less than 5,000 since it was their beginning years of the company. So, last but not least is my favorite of the group today. This one here. This is a Charger I've been looking for a while. Number one on my list is the Auction Block Series 15 Blue 70. It's like a silver blue color, and it has silver blue steel rims and dog dish caps on it. That's numero uno on my list to get. But this was in the top, I would say probably the second place one to get, because these are getting harder to find, and they're getting up there in price too when you do find them. I got lucky and found this one for, I think, like 20 bucks, something like that. So it wasn't too bad. This car was made to look like the what is it, Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, or Crazy Mary, Dirty Larry. But I've never seen the movie, but I know this is an iconic car from that movie, kind of a cult classic with Mopar fans and such, so I had to get it. Johnny Lightning makes one too, but the Johnny Lightning is a little bit small. Their Chargers are a little small for 1/64th, and I wanted this to kind of fit in with all the other cars in my collection, so in case I do some diorama stuff or things like that, where it needs to be true to scale. So anyways, this one is from 2014 is the copyright. So this one like a 2015 release. And it gives you some fun facts of the Charger. The Charger RT came standard with the 440 Magnum V8, mated to a torque flight automatic transmission. RT handling package and heavy duty manual adjustable brakes, and considered by many to be one of the best looking mid-size cars around the second generation 68 to 70. Dodge Charger found fame on both the big and small screens. And this is a 1969. The horsepower rating was 375. 0 to 60 in 6.1, and their casting number is GL030. The line is GL Muscle Series 9 in custom yellow. So yeah, Series 9. So I was thinking it was a little bit newer, or like a little bit higher in number, since it was from like 2015. But then again, 2015 is 10 years ago. So it's quite a while ago. So anyways, let's get it out and take a look at it. And it is a beauty. This one, I got lucky. There's no flaws, no paint flaws or anything on the car. Looks really good. The wheels are pretty close to what was on the car in the movie. Front ones are a little skinnier though, but that's the one issue I have with Greenlight, is how wide the tires are that they use on some. Some are not that bad though. Like their later releases of the Magnum 500s are really nice. And in the engine compartment of the Charger, they did not do too well. It's really small, the engine is. Now on their other stuff, like the Plymouth, the Plymouths that they made from 68 to 70, the Roadrunners, the GTXs, the motor compartments are great. The engine is true, like 164 size, but these are small. These are like, I don't know, they look like 1/72nd scale car engines. But as I mentioned before, I don't care because I don't keep the hoods open on my stuff anyways. Everything else they did a fantastic job with, like the detail on the front and sides and the rear ends. Very cool car. I put it in the display case with the General Lee custom I did, the Greenlight General Lee, and my Joe Dirt Daytona. I've done some updates on the Daytona. I will show you guys that maybe over this weekend. I've done some customs that I may bring out and show you. You've probably seen them in the background of some videos too, baby. But I'll show you what I've been working on maybe in a video over the weekend. And then if not, we'll definitely be back on Monday for our Mopar Monday. I don't know what else we have coming in this week, but maybe by next week we'll have some stuff besides Mopars. But we'll see what else we find at Walmart this weekend too. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will talk to you again maybe this weekend, if not on Monday.